Smurfy greetings, YouTubers. It is I3 Hellgear, and I want to talk a little bit about the Lost Village. So, Tuesday, when I was going through tech issues and getting ready to tweet to you guys about said tech issues, the Smurfs Twitter page posted up a retweet from the cast and crew doing photo shoots with the characters they play in the movie. I will link to that article in the description below of this one. And the biggie, of course, are these three lovely ladies right here. So, apparently, earlier before this photo shoot with cast and characters for the movie, a lot of leaks came out and three names were leaked. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my take on the Lost Village and, of course, things that are up to speed as far as what I'm going to do. Now, when I first saw the photo ops and we get these very first shots, these are the very first exclusive shots of some of the new characters in the movie, the first thing that came to mind was Smurfs Epic Run. I'm not lying here. Smurfs Epic Run. I really was like, okay, yeah. These guys, or can't say guys because they're not male, these girls should be added to the game Smurfs Epic Run. Speaking of games, if the Smurfs Lost Village does have a game that's not on the Nintendo 3DS and I can get a hold of it, I'll be playing it and doing a run of that game on this channel. Even if it's a bad game, you know. Kind of like how the Snoopy's Grand Adventure game was a bad game for the Peanuts movie. Yeah, so even if Lost Village has a game on the bigger consoles and it's a bad game, I'm still going to play it on the channel. But anyway, like I said, seeing these three in Smurfs Epic Run would be great. You know, it only feels right because these are three of the new girls on the block. So, let me get down to who they are. First and foremost is the one on the left. Her name is Smurf Lily. And when I first saw her, I thought that this was the one on the left, and all of her cuteness would actually be Smurf Blossom. But Smurf Blossom is the one on the right. Now, Smurf Lily is the positive member of the team, as they like to give credit for during the photo ops. Again, the link to it in the description below this video. You know, she's the positive and planning one. So she's the one that's got the plan. Yeah. And I really like her design. You know, this goes to the question of the video. Which of these three do you like the most based on, you know, what you're seeing here and everything else I tell you about? So anyway, going back to Smurf Blossom on the left. She's apparently the cheerleader of the crew. And to be honest with you, not a fan of her design. You know, the dress is great. Don't get me wrong. Dress is great. You know, you won't really see too much of Smurfette wearing a spaghetti strap like, oh, geez, like in the first movie where Katy Perry voices Smurfette, not like how Demi Lovato's going to verse Smurfette in this one. But yeah, very nice. I don't recognize the voice actress for Smurf Blossom, but Smurf Lily is the teenage black-haired girl from Modern Family. And then the one in the middle, Smurf Storm. This is pretty much the protector. She's the one that takes care of her family and is like, hey, you want to get to Lily and Blossom, you got to go through me. And she's voiced by Letty from Fast and the Furious. So yeah, perfect match there. Kind of find it odd how she's Storm, but she's got a clover on her hat. Yeah, that kind of clashes with the whole storm thing, but I guess it's a storm of luck or whatnot. But anyway, Archer reminds me of the Amazon deal. And you know, one of the things that has come up in my Smurf communities is, what is the deal with female Smurfs being in the village? You know, anyone who's anyone that has been in some kind of contact, whether it's the Smurfs cartoons, the original comics, or whatnot, they know that the majority of the Smurfs are men. And the hook of the movie is, what if everyone in the village, the main village that we know, aren't alone, and there are other Smurf villages? Now, I want to make this perfectly clear. This idea is not anything new. It isn't a new idea. It's not a new premise. I remember reading volume 2 of the Smurfs Anthology, and the Smurfs Anthology has different, there are, 4 volumes, and each volume is a book. But I remember reading in the second Smurfs Anthology that in the comics they had another, let's just say a conference of other Smurfs. And there were Smurfs from other villages. And there are 2 Smurfs that, even though it's been a while since I remember reading this, but there are 2 Smurfs that specifically stand out. There's this one Smurf who wasn't blue at all. He was green, and I think he had black spots. I'm not sure about the black spots, but I know the body was green instead of blue. And then there was another Smurf with a really long tail. So, again, it's going to be really interesting to see the backstory on this lost village, or hidden village, depending on where you are in the world and how it's called. But yeah, would love to see these 3 again in Smurfs Epic Run. It only makes sense to have them. Oh, it is the 23rd. Smurfs Epic Run is updating today. Got to drop the new update. So all my Smurfs Epic Run players out there, get the update to the game. Anyway, back to Lost Village. Right. Other villages. So yes, it's not the first time they've done another village, but it's going to be interesting to see if this really is a village of Smurfettes, which apparently is something that was, from what I hear, was the leaked info, that this lost village is indeed a village of Smurfettes. And I have another weird take on it. Remember in the cartoons where we found Smurf Nanny? Because I bring up Smurf Nanny for the deal on female Smurfs, you know. When the female Smurfs were first introduced to the main village, you know, and I think I've mentioned this before, but when Smurfette first came to the village, her purpose was to be used as a weapon to a weapon to get the male Smurfs into trouble, cause havoc, so Gargamel can take them, eat them, blah 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 blah. And the problem with that was Smurfette essentially didn't like her purpose and wanted a new one. And she got a new one and a new look. And then of course there's Sassette, who was made by the Smurflings, but she was completely bad. And it's like, okay, if the female Smurfs have to be made and they're all bad, what's the deal? Now, again, I go back to Nanny Smurf, because Nanny Smurf is the one female who never really started out as bad. And to those of you who remember, Nanny Smurf was trapped in some weird castle that only appears once every 500 years on a full moon, I think. And then they had to rescue her. And it goes back to, you know, because Nanny Smurf and Grandpa Smurf originally ran the village, or at least another village. So this could be the village that they ran before going to the one that we know that's run now by Papa Smurf. You know, just throwing it out there to make you put your blue thinking caps on. But yes, we got 3 new blue buddy girls, or blue babes as they should be called. You know, another thing that is going to be a big question in this movie is whether or not, and I know this is something that is shown often in the cartoons, but it hasn't been shown in the first 2 Smurfs movies where Katy Perry was Smurfette, whether or not these female Smurfs have tails. And I know that sounds weird. It sounds really weird. I gotta stop. Man, I'm really cold. I'm trying not to turn the heater on. But anyway, again, the tails thing. Because in a lot of the depicted media for Smurfette, in the cartoons and even in the comics, there are scenes where you do see her tail and there are scenes where you don't see her tail. And again, when Katy Perry was voicing Smurfette in the first two Smurfs movies, you didn't see her tail at all. They didn't add it. So whether or not we get to see the tails of these new ladies and any other Smurfs in the Lost Village is going to be interesting. Of course, I'm going to go see this movie. This is on my to-watch list. And I probably will even give a review of the Smurfs Lost Village movie as well. Anyway, I would like to hear what you guys think in the comment section below. Again, the link in the description below shows you the photo set of the cast with their characters that they play. And of course, let me know also in the comment section below which of these three you like based on what you see in their designs. You know, like I said, I like Smurf Lily. Smurf Lily looks really cute. You know, really good design there. Smurf Storm, don't understand the clover, but the design is cool. You know, the whole Amazon deal with the archery. Man, wasn't there a male Smurf that was good at archery? I'll have to check. And again, Smurf Blossom, not a fan of the actual design. Nice dress. And again, there's got to be something to them because as you can see, they all have blue hair. Yeah, because you know, Sassette and Smurfette don't have blue hair. And you know what? Before I leave, I want to talk a little bit about Sassette for a minute because she's the other girl. And from the previews, which now they should show us another preview of The Lost Village before the movie drops this April, we don't see Sassette anywhere in this movie. So this goes into another thing that I want to throw out there. Maybe that they either A, and this is the one I'm hoping, have Sassette show up a little later in a scene. And if they don't, B, the events of this Lost Village may have taken place before Sassette was ever created. And the one thing we don't want to happen is C, find Sassette as a Smurf in this Lost Village. Because if that happens, that's going to throw off a lot of the Smurf diehards who feel and know that Sassette is part of the main Smurf Village. But again, let me get up out of here. That's all I'm going to say. I'll be waiting to hear your thoughts and theories and hopes for this movie in the comment section below. And now I'm going to take my goose from the oven because I'm done. See you in the comment section, everybody.